Welcome to the 100 Club. I'm Tom and I'm joined by Rich. And today we've got an interview with Superchargers Liz Russell. We'll be finding out about her experiences in the 100 so far. Liz, good afternoon. How you doing?
All good, thank you. How are you?
Yeah, really good, thanks. Thanks so much for making some time for us today because busy time in the tournament, approaching a pretty critical phase as well. You've got a grudge match, I suppose, against the Manchester Originals coming up at the weekend. How your preparations going?
Yeah, so we've had some good prep for that. I think coming from the Midlands, this is a derby that I've never obviously experienced before. So all the girls are really, really hyped, and we're looking forward to hopefully a good game of cricket.
Your journey to the 100's quite an unusual one in that you were quite a late replacement. So how did you find out you're going to be involved? How did that go down?
So I was at work actually. So I work for the NHS. So I was busy going about my normal day-to-day job and had a message from Danny. And I kind of didn't want to get too excited at the start because obviously it all depended on whether I was able to get annual leave at a 48-hour notice really. So once I'd got the okay, I had to write an email to my chief pharmacist basically begging that I could have the time off. So once I got the okay for that, I was gassed and I really wasn't expecting it. So I've just loved it. I've loved every second, and the girls have been really welcoming. And considering I'm a Midlands girl and I've played against a lot of these girls for years, to be in the same team with them it's been really good fun.
I was going to say as well because you've after the Manchester Originals game, your last game is going to be against the Birmingham Phoenix, and clearly you're from Birmingham, originally Solihull area, Central Sparks, Warwickshire, and you're going to be playing against some of those teammates. How are you looking forward to that one? You got your eye on anyone for particular?
I'm actually really looking forward to it. I think it's going to be a good test. Obviously, the girls had a great game a couple of days ago. And obviously playing against people like Shafali Verma is going to be a great experience. I'm sure there'll be a lot of banter coming my way on that day, but no, it should be good fun. It should be a good fun, and obviously don't want them to do too well. I'd rather be on the right side of the result. But yeah, it should be a good day.
It's been a fantastic tournament so far for women's cricket, in just like the crowds that are coming in, the general buzz around it. Have you, as a team, really kind of picked up on those vibes and sort of seen how much the rest of the country is enjoying it?
Yeah, and I think it's been massive for women's cricket. Never did I think that I'd be playing in front of so many people. Quite a massive moment for us was when we were playing at Headingley against the Oval Invincibles. Obviously, it was a really close game, and I think the last 10 balls to go, Headingley just erupted, and I've honestly never experienced anything like that. And I think the games have been brilliant. So for people who probably weren't that interested in women's cricket before, I think we've gained a lot of support and a lot of new followers, which is only going to take the game in the right direction, really. And hopefully we get some more support for our domestic cricket.
Yeah, I mean, it is growing the game. We can see that visibly. So for someone who maybe is getting into cricket because of the 100, how would you describe your game? What are your best sort of strengths do you bring to a team?
I would say hopefully a little bit of consistency with the ball. I have played for quite a while, although this is obviously a different level. And I hopefully variation. I'm obviously not blessed with loads and loads of speed, but I try and work more on my accuracy and looking to do a little bit with the ball. So yeah, I suppose that's personally mine, and hopefully a calm head in some situations as well. And yeah, always willing to give some advice.
Could I add to that, maybe taking occasionally a crucial wicket, because you've got a couple of wickets in the tournament so far, in some of the overseas stars as well, in Georgie Redmayne and Rachel Priest, who've both been going pretty well. So that must have been pretty pleasing.
Yeah, it was great. I think to get my first wicket under my belt was brilliant, really. And then obviously to get Rachel Priest pretty early on in that game was decent as well. But I'm literally just enjoying every second, and it was great when the team were doing well too. So it's also not as good, obviously, when you do okay but the team don't win. But I think against everything and the squad as a whole, everyone's put their hand up at some point and contributed. So that's been a really real positive, and hopefully we can turn up tomorrow and give the Originals a good game.
Yeah, I was going to say, you've been around the women's domestic game for quite a long time, as Tom was saying, playing Central Sparks, Warwickshire, etc. And a lot of people have commented that the standard has really improved in the last couple of years. Is that your observation too? And what's really driving that improvement in the standard?
Yeah, definitely. I think the game has evolved a massive amount, definitely over the years. And the last couple of years, you're right. I think having the opportunity to have some centralised pros has been brilliant. You know, a lot of us do have to work full time. So for the girls who have had the opportunity to be paid to play cricket and that's their job, I think naturally is only going to support the game and the involvement of it. And obviously with that comes some different coaches. So coaches that a lot of us may or may not have worked with before. And I think that brings fresh ideas both from the men's game too. And I think collectively having that opportunity to actually play cricket at the venues that we get to play at will always add to our game as well. I think, you know, gone are the days where we turn up and we're playing on a dodgy wicket. So yeah, I think that's obviously going to contribute massively. So obviously credit to the ECB for that. Really, it's been really positive for the women's game.
Well, you say dodgy. Sorry, Tom. I was just going to say you say dodgy wickets, but you're not going to have to play at Old Trafford now, so you should be okay.
I'm saying nothing.
Yeah. 2 games left at Headingley, of course. And you mentioned coaching there, and you mentioned Danny before. That's Danielle Hazel, clearly, who's the coach at the Superchargers. Vast amount of England experience from her, but also Northern Vipers. Are you going to be taking tips from that back to the Central Sparks, maybe? Or how are you finding her coaching style?
She's great. She's straight down the line, which I really like. And obviously, coming from her personal background, she's, like you said, she's got a lot of experience. So I think fresh eyes on anybody is really good. So for me personally, obviously the other coaching staff as well. Obviously we've got Richie, we've got Jenny Gunn. There's so much experience, and I think having the experience playing in a women's role as well is really important because it can be slightly different at times. So for that, it's been fantastic, and Danny's great.
A lot of people have been saying sort of the star of the tournament so far has been a teammate of yours, Jemima Rodrigues, and she seems sort of a great character off the field as well. What's it been like, being a teammate of hers, and how far do you think she can go in the game?
She's just another level. She's such a nice girl off the pitch. She fits in brilliantly. Her attitude towards the game is fantastic. She's going to be one of the best cricketers for India, in my opinion. She just brings such a fresh element to it. She's a great fielder as well, and she thinks a lot. So she's always one to offer her opinion out in the middle. But yeah, I mean, the score doesn't lie. She's been fantastic, and I think we were all looking at the percentage chance of us winning against. I can't remember what game it was at Headingley, and we were right down at 6%. And Jemmy was in, and she just cruised it. She was fantastic. She's a great girl.
Was that the game against the Fire, perhaps the first one where you were? I think you were 19 for 4, and she got 92 off 43.
We didn't have a great start, but just to watch her do her thing it's just great.
Yeah. I mean, I mentioned previously as well, 2 games left in the tournament for yourselves. You're currently sat, second, looking good. Southern Brave looking a little immovable, I'm afraid, at the top, and doing quite well right now as we speak. Yeah. But you're absolutely in the mix. So maybe 4 teams to playing for those 2 eliminator spots on the 20th. How is the confidence? Do you think you're confident of being there on the 20th?
I think we're trying not to look too far ahead at this point. I think, we want to go back to what we were doing well. We're obviously coming into tomorrow after 2 defeats, which isn't ideal. So we're just trying to pull together, do what we do well, and try and take each game as it comes rather than getting too caught up in the bigger picture.
Yeah, and with the Oval Invincibles, tomorrow, I mean, they pretty much are, without being too cruel, they're not in the mix now mathematically to get into the eliminators. So perhaps a team with perhaps the shackles taken off, you could put it that way, or nothing to lose. Do you find that a difficult prospect at all?
I'd say so. I mean, the Originals have got some great cricketers, and it's been good for a lot of the domestic players to really put their name out there and do well. So Emma Lamb yesterday had a great knock. So I think with games like this, it's not about taking your foot off the gas, and it's also not underestimating the people that you're playing against. I mean, if it's anything like Warwickshire Worcester as well, it's going to be a derby day, and we all know what can happen on derby days. So I think, yeah, it's just, we're just going to take it all in. I think Headingley will be rocking again tomorrow, so we're going to enjoy that, and we're just going to turn up and give the best performance that we can.
Oh, it's just a quick one. In terms of, you're 6 games in now. I know you lost 1 to the weather, so you played 5 of these games. Has the tactics of the team evolved over those 5 games, or is it more or less how you set out at the start of the tournament? Is how you play now?
I would say that I feel like probably the majority of teams are getting more to grasp with the format now. I think the first game or 2, you're still kind of, you look back at the game and think, well, actually, we probably could have done this differently. And I think each team has probably found that their tactics have evolved throughout. I feel like you said, the stage of the competition now, and obviously we all do spend a lot of time watching the other games as well. And I think it's just about learning off each other. With such a new format, obviously, it's probably going to take a while for tactics to be as strong as what they are in the other formats of the game. But I mean, mentally we go in there and we've got a much better idea, especially on the pitch as well, to what's going on as comparison to the first game. I had no idea what was going on.
Yeah, it was a little chaotic at the beginning, but also really exciting. I think the games continue to prove that, you know, it's cricket. We love cricket, and the quality's there. That's the most important thing. So they're continuing to generate great quality games. For the last thing I think we might want to talk about on today is clearly you've had a successful career. We're seeing lots of fans coming into the game now. How would you tell a young fan who's interested in cricket? How would you tell them to go about it now? What would you use to inspire them, maybe?
I'd probably say that as a female as well. I know obviously we want everyone playing cricket and it's great, but I think specifically for females now, there's actually you can make a living out of this. You can have that desire to go on and work full time and as a cricketer and play and get paid to play and get paid to train and work with some of the best coaches in the country or even the world. And you know, there'll be people going off to the big bashes in Australia. You know, look at people in the England team now. There's so much opportunity for them, and the game has evolved so much from when they started playing. So I think find yourself a group of people that you can enjoy the game with. Get a good club behind you, get some good coaching, and I think we all do so much better when we're enjoying the game. But it's so much fun, and stuff like this can happen when you're still working. So just enjoy it. That's my best piece of advice. Just enjoy it, and you'll make some of the best friends that you'll ever have.
That's mega. Liz, thank you so much for joining us this afternoon. I know you're very busy, but it's been great watching you, and we wish you all the very best for the coming games, and hopefully see you on the 20th of August at the Oval. If not, Lords on the 21st.
Brilliant. Cheers, guys. Thank you.
Mega. Thank you very much.
Cheers.
Bye.
Bye.